Hello, powerful leaders and entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for attending this class. I am deeply honored and so happy to be here. The title of my session today is From a Soft Heart to a Strong Spine. But I want to be very clear about what I will actually be talking about today for you as an entrepreneur. While we will certainly talk about building a strong foundation, my primary focus today is teaching you how to identify your spiritual energy and any leakages from that energy field. We're going to locate where you might be draining your life force so you can better start to manage, lead, and scale your business. To understand why I teach this, you have to understand my journey. Today, I am a scholar, an author, a researcher, and a healer. I am very proud also to be the parents of 3 adult children, but not long before I held this title, I was just one of 13 siblings from South Carolina who was born in rural South Carolina, that is, on a farm. My earliest lesson in survival didn't come from textbook. They came from the visceral terror of watching the Ku Klux Klan burn a cross on my family's lawn. To protect my future, my mom sent me to Baltimore North with a single mandate: make something of yourself. That journey and the pressure to survive and succeed wired me to carry a heavy load. It directly correlates with why I have spent my entire professional life being the first and the only in many rooms. For over 25 years as an industrial and organizational psychologist, and now as a retired tenured professor, scholar in residence, and author, I have analyzed the structures and the workflow of organizations. But as a Reiki master teacher and a hypnotherapist, I have also analyzed something deeper: the spirit and the souls of the people who work in those systems. Being Black, gifted, and female has been a challenge in a society that denied me my identity. I could hold a masterclass just learning and teaching you how to survive and be resilient in such a oppressive environment. Many of us left corporate America to build our own tables. We became entrepreneurs to escape these boxes. But here is the hard truth. If you haven't cleared your survival energy, you will accidentally build a toxic business culture, just like the one you may have left behind in your past jobs. For too long, Black women have been told we have to fragment ourselves to fit into corporate boxes. We're told to leave our spirit at the door to be taken seriously in business. I stand before you, however, as living proof that we do not have to choose one role. We don't have to be fragmented. For me, that meant not having to choose between being a scientist and a healer. I am a proud Reiki master, a CEO, and a Buddhist practitioner. My identity is whole. I represent the integrated leader, unapologetically intellectual and deeply spiritual. My hustle today is grounded in devotion, not desperation. Before I touch any work, I align my mind, body, and spirit. When I sit down to lead my business, I lead from overflow, not depletion. Today we are moving out of survival energy and stepping into what I refer to as hue energy. Okay, today we are going to be doing 3 things, and hopefully you will learn 3 things or experience 3 things. First, I'll teach you how to diagnose your primary energetic leak. Second, you will understand the difference between building a heart-centered orientation in your business and utilizing a framework for yourself, which I call hue energy alignment. Third, we will teach you how to meditate and visualize 2 protocols that I've developed that will help shift your nervous system out of survival mode to a high performance modality. Okay, we're going to first talk about three types of energy leaks that you may be experiencing. So I want you to write down, if you have a pen and pencils, the energy drain that best describe what you are experiencing. The first type of energy drain is called the over delivery drain. Your battery is running down. The second one is called the armor drain. You're wearing a shield and armor to protect yourself, unnecessarily in most cases. And the third kind is the sponge. You're soaking up all unnecessary trials and tribulations that do not belong to you. Think about which fits you. The low battery, the armor shield, the sponge. If you are in the over delivery drain, you're hemorrhaging, using up all of your energy unnecessary, providing an overload of your intellectual skills and ability to your clients or your customers. You're doing 3 jobs and you're only getting paid for 1. That happens many times because we're trying to overprove ourselves. We may be suffering from imposter syndrome. When you deal with the armor drain, you're hypervigilant. Sometimes that's a result of the imposter syndrome also. You're cautious of everything. Everything's a threat. You're waiting for the bad email, the problem employee, the problem delivery service. You're expecting things to crash and burn. You are just ventilating and hypervigilant. Your nervous system is locked in a state of defense and despair. The sponge drain, you're over processing. You're taking on everyone's trauma, particularly the trauma of your clients or your workers. You leave your meetings, your day at work, phone calls, overwhelmed with tension and stress in your bodies. You don't have to suffer from these type of drainage. There are things that you can do to either prevent them or to release them. And we'll share with you one technique that I use and my clients use to prevent some of these drainage and to recover from the drainages as well. Which one are you? Write it down and remember. Earlier we talked about creating a strong spine and having a soft heart. One of the methodologies that I use and you can use to create a strong spine and to ground yourself is what I call opening sacred space. And it's one of the steps in my Focus Hue Energy alignment process. As I said earlier, before I do any of my work, I tend to meditate, show gratitude, align myself through prayer, affirmation, etc. I invite you to always open sacred space before you start your work or your venture. When you open sacred space, it's not just an idle task. You are grounding your nervous system. You are also setting forth your intention. It is also how you can seal your energetic field, which might prevent you, and it will prevent you from leaking. Perhaps one of those categories that we looked at earlier. It stops people particularly from absorbing other people's chaos. And one of the ways that I open sacred space is to do a meditation, and I invite you to join me in a short meditation. And after we complete that, I will tell you why opening sacred space, visualization, meditation, and prayer is important and how it works in relationship to your words, thoughts, and your brain. Join me for a quick meditation. I invite you now to get comfortable in your chair Or if you're sitting on a couch, get comfortable there. I want to suggest that you close your eyes. Uncross your legs if they're crossed. Visualize a thick rope dropping from the base of your spine, going down to Mother Earth, through the floor, out to the grass, passing the roots of the trees, anchoring itself in Mother Earth's moist soil, firm dirt, vital nutrition. You feel so comfortable because you know something and someone has your back. Mother Earth is there to support you in your endeavors. And if you keep your mind focused on the rope, imagine green, beautiful energy coming up from Mother Earth through the rope, entering your tailbone, traveling up each vertebrae of your body, anchoring and supporting you, straightening your back, giving you that support, moving up your neck, your jaws, your face, your head, your ears, surrounding you with support and love. And I want you to say to yourself the following: I am composed of mind, body, and spirit. I bring my authentic self, my whole self, to all spaces. I am composed of mind, body, and spirit, and I bring my authentic whole self to all spaces. I have a strong spine. I am supported. I have no need for fear. Breathing in the love and the strength of Mother Earth. Breathe into your back. And remember, you do not have to lean forward into the hustle. Just lean back into your power, your strength, your strong back. And I invite you to slowly open your eyes and breathe. Thank you for opening sacred space with me. When we open sacred space, we are doing more than just breathing. We are utilizing the power of prayer, meditation, and visualization. As a scientist, let me tell you exactly how manifesting works in this case. It is not just a feel-good concept. It is neurobiology. When you are stuck in survival mode, your brain's fear center the amygdala kicks in, a survival reaction. It hijacks your system. You only see threats, limitation, and the hostile environment we had to survive. But when you use intentional prayer, visualization, meditation, focus, you are utilizing neuroplasticity to rewire your neural pathways. You actively program your reticular activating system in your brain, the filter that decides what information you attend to. When you visualize a specific reality, you command your brain to filter out the noise of fear and start identifying the resources, the clients, the opportunities that match your vision. You are actively overriding the trauma of your past to create a new biological belief system that is fiercely focused on the entire process of building your empire. So, when you think that prayer, visualization, meditation is woo-woo, or you don't have time for it, just remember, this is one way to prevent burnout, stop your blockages, and move from fear to power. Thank you for continuing to work with grounding, building your spine, and your life force. Because when you're grounded, you protect your profit in your business. In my consulting firm, Focus You Energy Consulting, we bridge the gap between science and soul. And our mission here today is to teach you tell you a little bit about how to become a sustainable leader and the process by which you can do that. We have talked about the Focus You Energy Alignment process, which is one methodology, one process, one tool that you can use to create what I call a heart-centered organization. I've studied for many years toxic organizations, oppressive organizations, and work closely with leaders to change the culture of many organizations. What I have found through research and practice is that the heart-centered orientation, which is a leadership style and it's a type of organization, is the best strategy for non-toxic workplaces and productive workers. If you look at the model, the pathway to sustainable leadership, we have the heart-centered orientation, and then we have the Focus You Energy Alignment. The goal is to create heart-centered oriented organization and leadership, and you use the Focus You Energy Alignment process to get that there. That's one strategy. There are many other strategies besides this, but this is the one that I currently use with many of my leaders who are void of spiritual, energetic values that are correlated with a heart-centered organization. So, if you listen to me carefully, whether you are a one-person organization or a 50-person organization, or whether you are that sole entrepreneur with a laptop, your business still has a culture, and right now you are setting the DNA of your culture. So let's set it in the correct way. Let's create heart-centered organizations. Heart-centered organizations tend to provide psychological safety for its member, the compassion, ethical responsibility, and equity. It's not woo-woo. It's not being soft. It's just a human-centric approach to how organizations should be ran and how we should treat the members of organizations. Are you ready now to work on your soft heart? We've worked on our hard and firm spine, so let's work on our soft heart. How do we develop a heart-centeredness, compassion, fairness, equity, strength base, attitude of abundance? One methodology that I use with some of my clients is called toning, using sounds. As a Buddhist practitioner, we chant Nam Myo, and we clear our chakras. Sounding and toning is one way to do that. So, if you are open, I would like for you to start to work on developing your soft heart by working with me in a short exercise. You ready? I want you to breathe in and out, taking your time, nowhere to go, nothing to do. And I invite you to put your left hand on your belly and your right hand on your heart. The belly is our source of intuition. The heart is for compassion. You may close your eyes again and breathing in and breathing out. I will demonstrate first and then you can follow. I'm going to breathe in and then out. In and out. And I would like for you to do that. Take one deep breath in and one out. Hopefully the air is flowing easily. If not, pay attention to that. Breathing in and out. This time, we're going to start the sounding. I will demonstrate first, and then you can follow. A-I-O-U. 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 Feel the armor breaking up in your chest. One more time, calling your power back from the institutions and the clients that drained you. Your power does not come from their approval. It comes from the universe within you. Inhale, exhale, and repeat out loud. I vibrate at a high frequency. I attract that which is within me. I vibrate at a high frequency, and I attract that which is within me, Therefore, we have to clean out the low vibration and bring in some high vibrations. You may open your eyes when you are ready. Thank you for joining me in the toning. For some of you who are pragmatists and understand the science of what you just did would be meaningful, note that vibration stimulates your vagus nerves. It biologically restores your executive function so you can make sound financial and strategic decisions. So if you're upset, worried, disheveled, overwhelmed, try toning, singing, humming. Shift your vibration through song and words. Now, if I can offer a piece of wisdom to my younger self and to you, I would say that fear is the root cause of failure. You are already great entrepreneurs, leaders, people. You are already successful. It is within you and has been the entire time. There's an entrepreneurial myth that being your own boss is easy. False. It requires a discipline stricter than any corporate job. But if you are able to visualize a goal, the physics of the universe dictates that you are capable of achieving it. There are very few coincidences in life. There are only alignments and misalignments. Now, I want to turn your attention to the type of services that my firm offers. And I want you to stop surviving and start scaling. My greatest motivation in this season of my life is asking myself every day, what have I done to be remembered? Who will find clarity because I walk this path? And hopefully you will, and others. I want you to take a screenshot of this page and the next page, because the next page has a scannable barcode, and pay attention to my services. If you want to continue down this path of transformation and you want to learn more about it, I offer services in 2 phases. On the left is the individual and team services. Coaching and energy advising, one-on-one strategic and energy alignments, similar to some of what we've done here, but coaching and is longer term, and somatic recovery, which is some of what we've done. I particularly use Reiki healing, and you can get Reiki attunement, certification training, and clearing. These things you can do on your own for shifting and changing your vibration and your mindset, in addition to behavioral and cognitive processing tools. I also have a book coming out in late winter of this year. Yay! For those of you who may have experienced trauma in your life and you want to learn more about how to clear it in many ways, I will be writing about clearing trauma through the Focus You Energy Advantage perspective. You can get on the wait list for this book, by emailing me and letting me know that you're interested, and I will get back with you. Also, if you request, I can send you a free audio of some of the meditations that I use or use today. The second set of services are directed more toward organizations. You may not be ready to scale your whole team, or your team may be bleeding out because of burnout, stress, lack of resources, organizational trauma, those kinds of things, which I do research on, and it's a survey going on now to gather more information. If you are interested in doing work with a larger organization, we can do that for you. We, the Focus Your Energy consulting practice. We also will help you build a heart-centered organization that fosters psychological safety, equity, and repair. And we do leadership effectiveness, training, development, burnout prevention, and trauma-informed culture change. So please do not let this moment, this experience that we're having, escape. Let's continue our journey in transforming burnout, leakages, trauma, stress, unnecessary stress, and creating heart-centered organizations. Connect with me, and we can continue our journey together. My email, website, and LinkedIn is on the chart below. Thank you. If you want to, you can use this scannable link on the slide in front of you, and that will direct you to my website, where you can find out all of the things that my firm and my colleagues will be doing throughout the year, and our other services, as well as sign up for the book and other appointments. The picture on the right is a picture of me right after I did a Reiki attunement class, and if you're interested in Reiki, you can request information on that also. And so I say thank you for this experience. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your energy, and protect it. Namaste.